it's Craig, whispering storyteller here. I hope you are well. So today is Monday the 27th of May, and it is a bank holiday in England. Bank holiday is a day's holiday for those who are lucky, of course. So I guess it's a bit like Labor Day in the US, a recognised day of holiday, but retail people don't get the day off. Neither do nurses, carers, etc. I am lucky because I do get a bank holiday off because I am an office worker, and I don't work bank holidays at all, thankfully. I'm just sitting here listening to the rain beating off the roof. And I think next door's guttering is a little bit blocked, so you get water kind of dripping down the side of the house. So anyway, I digress. It's nice to see you, and we are going to talk about the month of May, how it's been, my usual monthly catch-up with you. So how are you, and how has your month been? I hope it's been well. Me? Well, it's been a month of good things. Yeah, I'm still really enjoying my job. I love it. I'm enjoying the whole working from home still. I'm enjoying the freedom that I have, but it is a busy job. But the team I work with are phenomenal. They're great. I love them so much. But it has been a busy month now. It's been a strange month in regards to bereavement because, yes, I lost Paula, which I documented already on this channel. So we had Paula's celebration of life on the 2nd of May. But then I lost my mother's uncle, who I called uncle as well. We lost him this month. Very sadly. Yeah. And my friend's dad passed away. My good friend's dad. Very sad indeed, isn't it? Yeah, what else has been happening though? So, on the good side, we had a surprise party for my auntie. She was 70 on the 4th of May, Star Wars Day. We had a great family get-together for her. There was lots of singing, lots of dancing, lots of food. Nice to come together to celebrate. Super nice, isn't it? What else has been happening? Yeah, I had the last bank holiday, because in May we have a couple of bank holidays. We have an early spring bank holiday, and then we have another bank holiday, which is today. So we went to Northumberland for the last bank holiday and spent a night with our friends who invited us up. They had a cottage, a nice place that they rented, and we stayed the night, and we just went to the pub and had a few beers, in the local there, and it was great, honestly. There is a bit of a drink culture here in England, as you know, so everybody drinks. We measure having a good weekend or relaxing by going to the pub, but the pub is a great place to meet people, talk to people. The pubs here are all very, very dog friendly now, which is great because we can take Halo up there, and Halo is very well received. So the locals here, he gets treats every time he goes in. So it's nice. It's very community driven, I think, the pub around these areas. So people get to know each other, and we just download, talk about what's been going on. Do you have that kind of community spirit where you live? We've got a big church here, don't get me wrong, there's the church is very much a community hub here as well, in this area. But the pub, even the vicar goes in the pub sometimes. But we're lucky to have a really nice pub with a very, very keen focus on community, which is great. Yes, work has had me super busy this month, and so we've got this big conference taking place, which is happening in about 4 weeks' time, and this conference means that a lot of different areas of my business come together, and it's a way for them to talk to the leadership and forge ideas about how they want to push the business forward and what's coming down the tracks, all of that great stuff. And I was sent to do some filming in an area called Preston, which is near Blackpool on the northwest coast. Well, not the coast, it's kind of more inland, but it's not far from Liverpool and Manchester. But I went to this dementia unit, which is phenomenally brilliant. It's an area where if you're suffering with dementia, you have a very tailored approach to your care, and they look to build that level of where the resident who's staying there can become a lot more relaxed and comfortable, because they look at triggers. They look to find out what might trigger them to get anxious, and they've got this really great record of dispersing challenging behaviour, because they have that tailored approach to caring for the resident and making sure that they feel happy, comfortable and protected. And it was a pleasure to spend the day with this area, this community, and I did some filming, and I've took it back, and it's going to be edited together to be shown at this conference. So that was last week, and that was a 2.5 hour drive there and a 2.5 hour drive back. So 5 hours of just solid driving. The rain's getting heavier now out there. Can you hear it? You can just hear the weight of that rain lashing against the roof tiles and the windows. So yeah, busy week, busy month. What else have we done? So I keep looking at my camera because I do put a little bit of highlights of my month on there. I type it into my phone. So daycare. So Halo's daycare is in the United States at the moment. It's a lovely lady, local lady, who looks after him twice a week, because when I worked for Amazon in the last job that I had, I was working 10-hour shifts. Anyone who works at Amazon will tell you all about it. But I used to put Halo in daycare twice a week, a Thursday and a Friday, because that's when we felt the challenge of him potentially being alone. And it's great because, one, it socialises him, just keeps him in contact with other dogs, and he gets used to sharing and being in a collective, if you like, because dogs are pack animals. They love to be running around, chasing, playing, etc. But she's gone to America for a few weeks, so we've got Halo at home, which is fine because I predominantly work at home now. I just go in the office or little projects like what I did last week in Preston, which don't come very often, to be honest. But I'm home all of the time, and I love the fact that I can make a coffee, I can put washing in, I can cook some food, run an errand, all of that business. But with Halo, I decided just to keep the routine going. So I'll keep Halo in the 2-day routine because he loves it. For one, he gets a lot out of it. And secondly, I'm still trying to get my routine. So yes, I am 10 weeks in at the moment, but it's just a great way to keep things the way they are until I decide to change something. But once I'm established, if you like, with my own personal routine. Now, she comes back from America in a couple of weeks' time, and I'm going to suggest maybe dropping one day and having Halo on a Thursday. See, because a Friday we tend to call that pub day. See, I'm back to alcohol again now, and I'm not a big drinker at all. I just like the social element of a couple of beers. So yeah, getting back to what I was saying there, that Friday is great because we finish work and we just down tools and leg it to the pub, and it draws a big line across the week. So the weekend starts as soon as we log off and go for a couple of beers. And we meet a lot of people in there that we are familiar with. I'm not too bothered about drinking on a Saturday, Sunday, but I do like to have a couple of beers on a Friday. So I was thinking about maybe not having daycare on a Friday moving forward. So I'll start doing that, suggesting that change when she gets back from her holiday. But still keeping that one day purely for Halo's socialisation, if you like. There you go. What else has been happening? So yeah, I want to say big thank you to everybody who has commented on the music project that I've got. So I have written a Christmas song, a really nice, poignant Christmas song, and I did mention that I'd love to get some musicians to support me. Well, thank you so much. Some of my loyal subscribers have shown interest. One whom is local, Mike Gatto. I think it's Gatto, or is it Gato? Forgive me, Mike, if I pronounced his name wrong. But Mike is a really cool, established local musician, and he's very kindly offered his services to help produce some material. I am so appreciative of that, Mike, and I will reach out. But it's coming along very well. I've got some really great people involved in my region, a great producer, and yeah, I just want to bring this song to fruition. So I want it to be very mellow, I want it to be very harmonic, I want it to be very poignant, very vocal led. I've got a few ideas, and the producer's given me a few of his ideas as well, but we're going to be recording this probably in the next couple of months, so it's ready for Christmas, and I'm going to use it as a Christmas card for friends and family, but of course I'll also post posted on this channel as well. If people are interested, of course, but I am hoping to raise some money for cancer research. It is a song about loss and just remembering people who we've lost. Not so much wallowing in sadness, but more about celebrating and raising a glass in their memory. So the song is called Let's Raise a Glass. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying anything to do with music. I just love it. I love the collaboration. I love to be around talented people. It brings out the best in me. And yeah, I'm super, super, super excited to work on it. But I seem to be writing a lot of songs at the moment. I used to write songs so frequently many years ago when I was in a band. But yeah, the movie writing kind of came and took over it. But recently I've returned to music as a little bit of self-expression, I guess, with my thoughts or with how I'm feeling, etc. So music is a good outlet, even if you just write it for yourself or for a loved one or friends. It doesn't have to be a #1 hit, but I do love writing music so much. So my style of singing is very folky, very intimate, but I do like a bit of everything, to be honest. But I do thank you to those lovely subscribers who have offered to help me out. It's much, much, much appreciated. What else has been happening TV-wise? I've even found the chance to watch a couple of shows on a night time. I watched Blue Lights. Blue Lights is a BBC police drama set in Northern Ireland, and it's very good. It's the second season. Now, I've just watched the second season, but I didn't quite get as gripped as I did with the first season. So it's very much about the troubles in Northern Ireland between the Loyalists and the Catholics, and how it's kind of flaring up a little bit and the roots run deep. You know, very politically charged, should I say. But yeah, I recommend Blue Lights. I don't know if you can get it in the States or anywhere else in the world. You probably can, but I recommend it. It's great. The second thing I've been watching is Interview with the Vampire. Now, this was an old movie with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in the 90s, but this is a much more deep dive into the original novel, which really takes its time to tell the story. So anyone who's unfamiliar, it's a story of immortals who live through life sucking the blood of their victims, but they've got this immortal youth, and they live and love and lose between each other. So the story centres around Lestat, who is a really self-absorbed, stubborn vampire who falls in love with Louis. Louis becomes a vampire, but Louis is part of a family which are very rooted in New Orleans. And I think it's during the Prohibition period or just around that time. Anyway, he takes on a little girl called Claudia, and the three of them become this really indestructible trio who just get up to all sorts of mischief. But then, obviously, they become a feuding party, with Claudia very much against Lestat and Louis somewhere in the middle of both. But it's really gripping. It's quite bloody, quite violent, but it's got that whole mystique of everlasting past in life that really draws you in. And I love it, and I've watched the first episode of the second series just last night, and it takes us into the 1940s now, so it's a little bit of a time capsule of different periods of the 20th century. If you've read the book, which I think, I didn't read it, but I know my brother did, but I'm sure it's been reimagined a little bit. I'm sure it was a little bit earlier in the book, but this seems to focus on the 20th century. So I think we're going to be going into the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, etc. But anyway, I've probably rambled far too much about it, but it's very gripping, very character driven, and it's just amazing. But I'm just waiting for season 2 to kind of kick off a little bit. So that's about it, but over the next few weeks I've got a busy few weeks. So next week it's my birthday week, and I'm going to Robin Hood's Bay with the dog and my other half. We're just going to jump in the car. It's a far cry from Mexico last year, so I went to the Caribbean coast in Mexico and had a great time. It was so hot and lovely, and now, I'm faced with a very changeable summer so far. It hasn't been dry for like a year here. It's just rained constantly. So my thoughts are, what if it's going to be like this when I'm in Robin Hood's Bay, which is a little town in North Yorkshire. It's about a 90-minute drive from where I am. It's very picturesque. It's right on the coast, and what's really special about it is that back in the day, pirates and smugglers would bring their illegal items into Robin Hood's Bay, and they have this network of tunnels underneath the town where they would actually crawl along and pass up some of the illegal goods through little hatches into the homes. Illegal goods would have been rum, alcohol, cigarettes, tobacco, not cigarettes. They wouldn't have been around back then, would they? But you get the gist. It was all just illegal goods and black market items. But Robin Hood's Bay these days is a beautiful, desired to live in kind of place, and I was going to take the camera and get a bit of footage of just walking around and seeing what it's like. Would that be something you would like to see? Probably would, wouldn't you? And coincidentally, when I did that drive to Preston last week, I noticed that I've got this camera actually fixed to the car, and this camera records everything on the front and the rear of the car, which is nothing special. A lot of cars have that. But what's great is I think it's nice and stable. If I look at the footage and it's nice and smooth and wide, I might actually use that for the drive I did last week, because it is such a picturesque drive going over, a lot of the countryside in Yorkshire and the dales, etc. It was such a pretty drive. Now I tried to mount a camera to the windscreen with a suction pad, and it was wobbly. When I looked at the footage back, it was all wobbly, because when you drive and the camera's kind of, shaking. And I tried to put an image stabilizer on, but it just didn't look very good. But if this footage is nice, I might see if I can actually use it and put it together, because I know these cameras, which came with the car that I just got recently, I know they just record over each other after a while, so it's just constantly going on a loop. But I just wonder if I can have a look at this footage. So I've got Robin Hood's Bay next week, then after that I've got a big conference at work, the one that I did the recording for, and I've got to be there for a couple of nights. That's going to be super busy. So I think June is going to be a busy old month. July, I've got Paula's Relay for Life, which is the event with a track event that we have different themes for each lab for different cancers, and it's all for cancer research. So I need to start getting involved with the planning of that and how I'm going to approach it. So yeah, very, very busy. And I need to get back to my other YouTube channel too, Wookie. I need to get some fresh material recorded. I just hit the pause button just because of the amount of time it was taken to pull together one episode. So I need to see if I can make it a little bit, if I can compromise anything from the other episodes, which I love watching them back. I really am happy with the content, but it takes 2 whole days to pull one together. So I just need to have another rethink, and then when I hit my stride, I can start churning out Wookie every week. Wow, I've had a right download this month, haven't I? I've had a right download. I've never stopped talking. But I am going to wish you well and send you lots of love. And thank you for everybody for watching these videos, and if you find them relaxing, I'm so pleased. Honestly, I am. It's just a shame we couldn't go for a beer and a chat with all of you. Maybe we could do that at some point. Have a live chat sitting in the pub with a beer, and you can do the same wherever you are. That would be good, wouldn't it? Lots of ideas as always, but thank you once again. I'm going to say good night and sleep tight, and I'll see you soon.